That's why I tell people at church, you don't know if I'm smiling or not. Look at Jake. You say, how you doing, man? You look at sharp, doesn't you? You doing all right tonight? He got some water. Hey, Mike. All right. Good evening. Time now is 5:30. We call the Leesburg City Commission meeting to order. We could all stand. Our invocation was led by Honorable Dan Roebuck III, followed by a pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Lord, Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight and we conduct business for the city of Leesburg. Please give us the wisdom to make decisions that are in all of our citizens' best interest. This is your name we pray.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight we have no proclamations. Tab 3 is the presentations, a certificate recognizing Madison Rowland. Hey, Miss Madison. Come on that side of it. Certificate of recognition presented to Madison Rowland, an appreciation for your dedication and commitment to the betterment of the city of Leesburg and its citizens. The countless hours you have volunteered to help children, youth, and the elderly is commendable. We thank you for being an outstanding ambassador for our great city and offer congratulations on your well-deserved recognition from the Florida's Hometown USA program by the Mayor of Leesburg and the City Commission this 22nd day of February of 2021. Hey! Can we celebrate Madison tonight? Tab 4 is public comments. This section is reserved for members of the public to bring up matters of concern or opportunities for praise. Issues brought up would not be discussed in detail at this meeting. Issues will either be referred to the proper staff or will be scheduled for consideration at a future city commission meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. Do we have anyone who would like to address the commission?
David Serta. Oh, you can probably hear me anyhow. But, I just came back from Tallahassee. I've been up there since January 11th, 12th, 13th, ran into the Senate President and House Speaker. Oh, and I was so honored before a criminal justice meeting to be honored with 2 black face masks of the Senate by Mrs. Mears, Kathy Mears, who's the chief of staff of the Senate President's office, and she's been the chief of staff for quite a while. She's only about 45 years old, approximately. She might not be that old. She's a dancer. She was the chief of staff when Congressman Daniel Webster, and I went to Daniel Webster Junior High School, Waukegan, Illinois. Very ethnic community, just like Leesburg. When he was the representative, Speaker of the House, by God, she runs everything in the state capitol. You do know I've been to the interim calendar meetings, so yeah, and ran into the Senate President and House Speaker. I've already been to their district offices. I've in appearances quite a bit. There was a, session starts next week. You should go up there and speak. I've run into an Indian River vice chairman who knows me because I've been there. I've been to many meetings. The Senate seal is just like that. When you go to Orlando, I've been there many times. I was honored. They are the greatest city. You know, in our Florida, the 46th governor of the state of Florida, with a bolder, brighter, better future. Well, I've got a Keep Lake Beautiful shirt. I have a Keep Orlando Beautiful shirt. I have a Keep Putnam Beautiful card because I was in Putnam County the other day. And I am everywhere because I went to Akalaka. And I'm talking to Kirby Smith, the vice chairman. We have a new county manager, Alan Rosen, out of Port Orange. And out of that staff, a city told me, somebody out of Springfield, Illinois, where, hey, I'm from Illinois. A house divided itself cannot stand. Governor DeSantis is standing up with his wife. They're presidential material. COVID is out there, but healthcare, education, and environmental issues after a joint administrative procedure meeting on the 28th. And I was in Lenny Curry's office up in Jacksonville. I was honored to be sent to the commissioner's office. They got about 16 of them. You know, I public speak at many cities and county levels. I have the pins in some are in my pocket because they fall off. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, what a great guy. You know, you are the elected officials. You could be taking more action for our kids' future. I went to the parade the other day, Mardi Gras. Hey, the kids are there. But by God, at the end of the night, there's nobody downtown Leesburg. You could go green like Jerry Demings and Buddy Dyer are doing. You know, they say Tallahassee should be listening to them. Hey, Tallahassee, what a place to be at.
You have 30 more seconds, Mr. Cedar. 30 more seconds.
Thank you so much for your time, Mayor John Christensen.
Thank you, sir.
I got a school board meeting to go to. I might make it.
Be careful. Be very careful. Do we have any other public comments? Seeing no other public comments, we'll move to tab 5 as consent agenda, where routine items are placed on the consent agenda to expedite the meeting. If the commissioner staff wish to discuss any item, the procedure is as follows. Pull the items from the consent agenda, vote on remaining items with one roll call vote, and discuss each item and vote by roll call. Are there any items tonight the commission would like to pull?
5C7.
5C7. Any other items? I'd like to pull 5C3. Any other items? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Move to probably second. Any discussion from the commission? Roll call, please, Ms. Andy.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Burry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item 5C3. Would someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce it, has to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the city manager and city clerk to execute a lease agreement between Basis Loaded Consultant Group and the City of Leesburg for office space at the Leesburg Business Incubator for a 3-year term and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Good discussion. I pulled this item, wanted to hear more from the applicant and from staff who recommended it. And my concern was that the company started November 2nd, 2020. So they've probably been in business 4 months. So I just want to make sure that we've done our due diligence to make sure that the company is stable and we're not here in 6 months having a renewal. So it's a representative from the company here. Yes, ma'am. Just give us your name, address, and a little bit about your organization.
Yes, I'm Deborah Jane. I'm the owner of Bases Loaded Consulting Group. My address is 626 Timbercrest Drive, Leesburg, 34748.
And I was just trying to, for me personally, I was trying to figure out what does your company offer and what are your plans for Leesburg?
I am offering virtual assistance and event planning, and I'm just new to Leesburg, so I'm looking to get involved in the community.
Okay. And that was just my concern. It's a very, very new company, and I didn't know what our vision was for the incubator. I know before it's a 3-year term, and just want to make sure that we did our vetting to make sure that Miss Debbie's company was going to be able to fulfill our lease. And City Manager, you feel comfortable? Yeah. So, and I guess, I mean, if I started a company 4 months later, you know, just this big leap, 4 months with no financials, no background, and I just don't make sure we're not creating a precedent. Somebody comes in tomorrow and says, I just started my business yesterday and give me a lease, that we treat them with the same, and I don't know what kind of marketing we're doing. I don't know if we're inviting other companies, to take part. And nothing against Ms. Debbie's company, but I just want to make sure that when we do this, that we are setting a precedent that her business is only 4 years old. And that's my concern. So, Commission, if any other comments, we'll, take a vote. Any public comment? Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call, yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Burry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
No. 5C7, it's also a resolution, someone like to introduce it.
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the city manager to disperse an additional $169,687 of CARES Act funding and providing an effective date.
Do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Yes, sir.
And I pulled this. I just wanted, I guess, more clarification for my sake, and just to go on the record, you know, as a commission on how this money is being spent. I'm assuming, I think it's my understanding we have, I guess, applicants left over from the first round, and this money will probably go to them. I haven't had any complaints on the program, but I've had compliments on it, so it appears to be going well, but I just wanted to clarify that out.
Right. When we originally got our CARES grant money from Lake County, we received just a shade under 1.2 million. And this body, less Commissioner Burry and Commissioner Connell, did not vote on that. I think we did, I want to say we did that in October of 20-ish, when we put the presentation together. Anyway, we set up the 4 categories. Category 1 was the mall, category 2 being downtown business or downtown property owners, category 3 being Leesburg businesses, and category 4, that was CDC partnership and chamber help. We told businesses, current business or still in business, Leesburg business tax receipt, and if you had 5 or more employees, an award of 10 grand. If you had 5 or less employees, 5 grand. We funded that originally to the tune of about $250,000. The county got back with us towards the end of December, said there may be more money. Then that didn't pan out, but they did say they might go back and fund public safety expenses. I think I reported to you during my matters at that time, if we get that funds, I think we applied for about 75,000 for public safety expenses, and our suggestion was instead of reimbursing ourselves for that, we'll just take the county grant funds and then apply that to the program. So in essence, we eat our public safety expenses associated with COVID for the last fiscal year, which is in the neighborhood about 75 grand. So we were actually awarded 169,000. So I'm asking, instead of reimbursing ourselves, we take that money, which has already been awarded, we've received the check, it's ready to go, and we apply it to Cat 3. When we did the first submittal, we had, don't hold me to this, somewhere in the neighborhood of just a little over 100 requests. We were able to fund about 70, up to the first 75. There was 2 or 3 that were disqualified only because they weren't in the city limits, and that left about 25 or 30 of the original applicants pending. And so if you shift this money to category 3, I think you'll actually be able to cover everybody who's in there.
No, thank you. That's all I needed.
Any other comments from the commission? From the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Burry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Tab 6, a public hearing and non-routine items. 6B is our first reading of an order. Someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Thank you.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, implementing the will of the electors of Leesburg as expressed in a referendum, approving the amendment of Article 1, Sections 8 and 9 of the city charter to create 5 single-member districts for city commissioners, establishing new district boundaries based on updated census information as to create districts which are reasonably compact and roughly equivalent in population, establishing a staggered schedule for the election of commissioners from the various new districts, providing a savings clause, repealing conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date.
Any comment from the commission? And I'll go on record, I've spoke with Al about this. Of course, I've been thinking about it since our last meeting, specifically for District 2 current and District 1 in the future. We did our numbers, and we chose from our census data, and from the spirit of the federal lawsuit, when you start talking about census, population, and I think our staff, when they went through the format, we didn't think about voting. So even though I may have the equal number of residents, if they're not of voting age, and I think that takes away from the spirit of what the federal consent decree was about. So Al is looking into some more information, and he's going to hopefully bring us some more data at the next meeting. So I would just ask the commission to allow Al to work with the numbers and the data, look at those above 18 at least, to make sure that we're still within the intent of the lawsuit from 1984. Does anybody here understand what I'm trying to say? All right, because I mean, traditionally, if you have a family of 2 adults and 3 children, and 2 other houses with 2 adults, when you really talk about voting, you're really not a majority. You actually got a minority. So, I think staff looked at everybody in the house, and not just those of voting age. And so, Al's already working on the voting age above 18. So, I think he's going to look at it and see if he can get us numbers to make sure we're in compliance.
Yeah, long story short there, I think the mayor's just looking for a majority district that's over 50% of voters 18 and over. Sure. And I think we can get there. I don't think we can go across town and replicate the current District 2. Right. I don't think that we're going to be able to get there. But I do think if we nip out of a couple of the census tracts like 313 and 1175 and 1119, we're only talking about 200 or so folks to get that number above 50%. So I think you can probably get there and keep the intent of the lawsuit and pretty much keep the continuity of the districts compact and contiguous and still representing pretty much like they look now. So we need to get, I think, about 200 people into that district. I think we can get it. So we'll open up the couple of the tracks, see what we can do.
Commissioner Roebuck, you had something?
So, and maybe this isn't the year, but as we have more and more retirement communities come in, should those then districts be underrepresented population-wise, given that they're like 99% over voting age, and our core districts are probably not anywhere close to that? I've never looked at those numbers, but it's a good point.
I think when we have that growth, you'll be redrawing the lines again pretty quick. And Commissioner Connell asked this too. I didn't have the answer. I got it the other day because I was in a meeting with the villages on their update. They're looking to start construction on the 470 property early 23 with a finished build out by mid 24. So that's 3,000 units times about 2. So that's about 6,000 people that's in that district that's actually going to be District 2 that 6 months before the election will be filled. So depending on how much hubbub happens then, you're definitely probably looking at redrawing that district by 2024 or 26. So I think we get there anyway.
Would you mind, after you make the little tweaks, providing the voting age populations of all districts? Just because I'm curious.
I got it, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I need 11 by 17.
gave out that, I didn't do all ages, it's just 18 and above. It doesn't significantly change any of the districts that we drew. The biggest change was in District 1. It goes from a 54% minority majority to a 45% minority majority. So when you're looking on the chart, the numbers in the gray that you see, the percentages, that's the total district-wide, so all the people in the district. And then the numbers below it that aren't shaded, those represent the percentages of the district that are over 18.
So, Fred, when we're drawing these districts, are we allowed to look at the voting? I mean, I know that not on the district with the federal decree, because I think that's a bit different. But outside of that, the voting age versus the non?
I have not seen any specific authority on that, but just using common sense, since these are supposed to be divisions for voting purposes, I would think that was appropriate.
Yeah, because I mean, it strikes me outside of that issue that if you've got a 3,600 in one and 4,700 in another, you're underrepresenting that district by like, what's that,
Which
25,
number are you looking at?
30%? District 1 has 3,660 over 18, and District 3 has 4,708. I mean, that's a huge percentage difference in the amount of voters.
Well, I think both commissioners brought up an excellent point, but could we add a line to this on every district, you know, the number of people that are voting age? I know I'm not sure how easy that is.
Is that what, am I looking at that wrong now?
No, yeah, you're looking at, that's 8, that's 4, that's 600. This is, that's 800.
I'm looking at 4,708 for
This
District 3 and
is
3,660.
300. This is 500. And this, see, I don't think that number is really significant because the ratio is affecting everybody about the same, except District 3, but that makes sense because District 3 is primarily a retirement area. So, for example, and these are just round numbers, I did the math really quick. So these numbers I'm going to call out are the differences between the full district population and the 18 and above. So that difference is 600 in District 1, it's 800 in District 2, it's 300 in District 3, it's 500 in District 4, and it's 600 in District 6.
It's like, no, it isn't District 1 1100, 1150,
It's
48, 12?
It's this number minus this number.
Yeah, okay, that's the number I told you, that's 1150. Roughly.
Okay, you're right. My math is wrong.
And that's the one
I'm
where,
just
it looks like we just need a lot more people in District 1, total, specifically, that one, even outside of the.
Yeah, I didn't carry that one over, so yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
more importantly, I think it's
1,300.
gonna be that this is kept in mind in 2024, because it's gonna start impacting, like, the core Leesburg district, for instance,
Yeah.
as you have a district that's 100% over the age of 18.
So you
I'll
gonna
put the
play with
pencil
it? City manager's gonna go work
We'll go
and bring
put
it
the
back
pencil
to
to
us.
it.
So if anybody has any question, please call Al during the week, and Al, if anything comes up, just give us a call.
We'll do.
Is everybody okay with that? Okay. Item,
When do we set public hearing for? Is that the next
The
meeting?
next hearing, March 8th.
Hey, Fred, do we want to do that? Do we want to push that off to the 22nd of March? Just so if we get a different map, we can get the new map advertised instead of the old one and then change it on the 8th. Are you guys okay with that?
so March 22nd.
Yeah, so if we announce that the public hearing will be for March 22nd.
So item 6B1, the public hearing will be March 22nd. So moving on to 6B2, it's the first reading, someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce to be read by title only.
Thank you, sir.
An ordinance amending the comprehensive plan of the city of Leesburg, Florida, changing the future land use designation of certain property containing approximately 4.87 acres from institutional to low-density residential for property generally located west of Lee Street, south of West Line Street, and east of Perkins Street, as legally described in Section 26, Township 19 South, Range 24 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Any discussion from the commission on this item?
I'm excited to see something's finally happening with that property.
For those, this is the Lee School property.
Yes.
Al, anything you want to say about it? Or?
I would echo the commissioner's statement.
Sounds good. Any public? This is the first reading. We won't vote on it, but in from the public, since you're here.
Hello, representing the applicant, just here to answer any questions. And we're just excited to get this thing started.
All right, sounds good, Greg.
And we're ready to go next week.
No, this is a great project for Leesburg.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 6.3, B3, is also first reading. Someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Thank you.
An ordinance of the city of Leesburg, Florida, amending the development conditions on a SPUD, small planned unit development zoning on approximately 4.87 acres to allow for residential development for property generally located west of Lee Street, south of West Line Street, and east of Perkins Street, as legally described in Section 25, Township 19 South, Range 24 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Any comment from the commission? From the public? This item will also lay over. Move to 6B4, also first reading. Would someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Thank you.
An ordinance of the city of Leesburg, Florida, amending the city of Leesburg comprehensive plan to establish criteria for a historic district density bonus based on certain criteria, establishing appropriate policies to ensure compatibility, providing for conflict with other ordinances, providing a savings clause, and providing an effective date.
Any comments from the commission? Comments from the public? Okay, this will also lay over. Item 6B5, someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce to be read by title only.
Thank you.
An ordinance of the city of Leesburg, Florida, amending the city of Leesburg land development regulations by establishing criteria for density bonuses in Article 4, Section 25-292, supplemental district requirements, providing for conflict with other ordinances, providing a savings clause, and providing an effective date.
Any comments from the commission? From the public? This also will lay over to our next meeting. We have no non-routine items, no information reports. Item A, the city attorney items.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. City manager items.
No items.
Oh, wow, okay. Roll call vote. No, I'm sorry, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson,
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Burry,
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Connell,
Nothing.
Mayor Christian.
I just hope everyone is celebrating Black History Month and learn something new about the African American culture and share it with your friends and family. That's all I have for tonight. Motion to adjourn.